Okay, I wasn't expecting to record another video today, but I saw this juicy little nugget that kind of goes back to a video that I talked about a while ago. I'm going to post a little card up there if you want to check that out to get a little context before we go into this. But this is in regards to a MMO game put out by Amazon. It's called New World Aeternum, which is supposed to be like an MMO game that kind of mixes like fantasy elements with open world crafting kind of shit and whatnot. It's not really my kind of thing, but it was pretty popular for a while. Like, I remember when the game first came out, it was like the number one game for probably a few weeks or so. A lot of people were talking about it, and it was pretty successful on the initial run. Well, apparently, I guess that the luck has changed for it, because they have just recently announced that they are going to be stopping stuff. They just put out a update for, I guess, season 10 of the game, the Night Haven update, and they just put that out like literally a couple weeks ago. And if not mistaken, I remember seeing not that long ago they did a free Steam weekend, and me and some of my friends that I play these online games regularly, we were talking about possibly playing it. We decided to play something else instead at the time, because we were kind of looking for an MMO kind of game. And I know one of my friends, he was talking about this particular game, and he said his experiences about it and whatnot, because it was all like stuff we took into consideration on what MMO game to play, which we've abandoned that since. But we ended up actually doing like a WoW custom server kind of thing for a while. So Amazon has decided they're no longer going to be doing any new content for this game. Just out of nowhere. Just like I said, just a couple weeks after they just put this update out. So I guess, obviously it must have been planned for a while, because this is not typically something that these companies just are like, you know what, let's screw it. Let's just stop supporting this game that we've been supporting for years, make a bunch of money on and whatnot. So they claim that it's going to be live through 2026. You know what that means? That means that this is going to be a victim of game preservation, like the whole Stop Killing Games initiative, where people just want to be able to have the ability to go back and play games for whatever reason, whether it's for their personal enjoyment, for nostalgia, for any kind of academic or research purposes, in terms of if they want to do a little game documentary, or if they want to develop their own game and they want to get inspirations from other games, or whatever the case may be. They're not going to have access to this game anymore in the near future. Just like with a lot of MMO games, they eventually get shut down and they get completely axed. Now, here's something that's kind of funny. They say, well, I still be able to buy the game after October 20th, which is today's date, the date that they made this announcement. And they said, you will be able to purchase and play the game on all platforms until further notice. Well, we don't have an update yet for how long that will be. We'll share the information with the community as soon as we can. Here's what's really interesting. I pulled up the store page for it on Steam. There is no way to buy or download the game at all if you don't already have it. So despite their statement, the Steam store page seems to say something quite different from that. And we can look at the reviews, of course. The overall review is 68% positive from the English reviews. Now, the recent is a little bit lower at 54%. Now, I'm curious if anybody has been saying something because of that. Now, somebody did actually mention that here. Best MMO I ever played, and will till the server shut down. In sweet memories, FU Amazon. Recently started playing, was enjoying it. Now it is being shut down because Amazon being Amazon. Amazon is bleeped out. RIP New World, you were mid and then made a comeback. I was finally getting back into it with season 10. So long, boys. So, it seems like a lot of people are already chiming in on the reviews. Some of these have quite a lot of hours. So these are like people that were really serious about this. I'm sure that somebody that's played like 20 hours or something like that probably doesn't care that much. But these are people that are really passionate about the game. Clearly, you don't spend 800 hours on a game It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't really enjoy the game in some way or other, maybe you could just be really hooked on it, right? But yeah, it's just another victim of a game being unceremoniously killed off because I guess it didn't generate enough profit, even though they're supposedly still going to be selling the game, which they should not be doing at all. If they're just going to unceremoniously kill a game off, that's not something that they should be doing. They're claiming they're still going to have seasonal events and whatnot, but no more holiday events. Not sure what that means. I imagine what that means is anything. They're probably just going to anything that they've done before. They'll probably just pre-bake some shit to keep people going on here. Explaining some of their things about the refunds and stuff like that. Still being able to play the game on PlayStation Plus, extra and premium for the time being. Of course, I mean, like that's not really relevant anymore because, like, I would say probably, the game's got at most 13 plus months, 14 plus months. Well, maybe at minimum because they're saying through 2026. That's, of course, assuming that they're not lying. But they're also saying that they're claiming that they're going to have 6 months. They're going to give you a 6-month window of whenever they decide that, no, we're not going to support the game anymore. We're going to shut the servers off. Yeah, minimum of 6 months notice before making any changes that impact your ability to play New World Eternum is what they're saying here. So I guess player hacking and whatnot, player servers are back on the menu, boys, as they say, because Amazon Games doesn't really care about that anymore. They're too busy trying to push that new Mr. Beast game. Let me see if I can find that game, which from what I understand, this King of Meat, which hasn't got a lot of Steam reviews, surprisingly. It's very positive, but it's only 114 reviews. This game came out, I guess, about almost a month ago, and it's only 114 Steam reviews. And this was like a big thing that even Mr. Beast promoted on his channel. So it seems like Amazon is kind of betting on the wrong horse, because it seems like even if this game wasn't doing that great currently, it seems like it was still doing better than this game, at least in player numbers. I don't know. This game might be okay. I mean, it has a kind of an interesting idea where you can build, it's got like user created content where you can build dungeons and stuff like that. You got co-op gameplay. It's supposed to have like a party kind of thing or whatever. But it is pushing the Mr. Beast brand, which I don't support, personally. I think, but I get it. Jeff Bezos wants to push whatever he can, because it's totally an ideological battle, is what it is at the end of the day. But even though I don't like the idea of this game, it still deserves to be supported. But this proves that, Amazon, they're really ready, willing, and able to kill off their own games at any time. I wonder if they've done that to any games before. Let me look at their products here. So, watch out, Throne and Liberty. You might be on the chopping block someday, as Amazon has proven. Lost Ark, that is another one that Amazon has put out. Yeah, this was the very first game that Amazon ever put out, New World Eternum. It lasted, about 4 years, I guess, before they announced this. So if we go by that thing, maybe Lost Ark is not going to last much longer. Let's see. It's got pretty similar numbers in terms of reviews. It's actually got less reviews, although we have to keep in mind this here. It's actually only got 41% positive. That's a free-to-play game, too. So even though New World was not a free-to-play game, that was a game you had to buy. I think it was like a $60 game when it first came out. And this has similar number of reviews, but being free-to-play. Like, you didn't have to put any money down. So that's actually pretty pathetic. That means that there's probably no way this game has had is, maybe it does right now just because of the fact it's free to play, and there's some people that just don't buy games like that. They play just free to play games. Maybe it's possible that it's got a higher player count right now. But it definitely never had a higher peak than New World has, for sure. But yeah, just another shameless victim of the stop killing games movement, which again, watch that video, guys, because you should check it out. You should see what it's all about. And, games deserve to be preserved. And don't forget to check out the other video. Oh, wait, it's over this way. Check out the other one. I think it's going to recommend something to you. It might be cool to watch. So, but that's going to be the last line.